News Radio 710 Keel is your news and weather station.
News Radio 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Aaron McCarty. And I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been, and I don't mean this in the bad way it's going to sound, I've been so over-theatered lately. I went to see True West because my buddy Sean was in that, the Weaver thing, Blaine Weaver. And then we saw Chicago over the weekend, which was awesome. Mm-hmm. And then Thursday night at First United Methodist at the Emmett Hook Theater, Jesus Christ Superstar is opening. And we have two guests. Would you introduce them, please?
I have Seth Taylor, who plays the role of Jesus. I have Isaac Haas, who plays the role of Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar.
Gentlemen, good morning. A little, whichever of the two of you wants to go first, a little background, please. Seth, how about you?
Great. Good morning, y'all. Thank you for having us today. We are a company called Stage Center, which is totally locally operated. We're about 5 years old. We're about to start. Next year will be our 5th season. So we've all kind of worked in this area. Isaac's from this area. I grew up in Winfield, about 2 hours away.
I was going to say you're both Shreveport or Louisiana guys.
Well, Isaac now lives in New York. But he grew up here, and I now live here, but I grew up about 2 hours away. So, yes, we are Louisiana boys, but found the theater and are working in that currently. So I work for the company as a producer, as a music director, and every now and then as Jesus. And
where's your Jesus hair?
It's under this nice little cap I have.
Is it really? Oh.
Now, if you haven't been paying attention, which evidently you haven't.
Yeah.
This is not going to be set in.
Oh, I know.
In Roman Empire,
I understand.
You guys are doing it in a contemporary setting. Am I correct? Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be set in modern day, which I think gives it a very kind of, brings a story and makes it very accessible to the millennial audience, to the younger audience, and kind of, just puts a different perspective on the story that you don't get when you see the show traditionally set, in 4 BC or something like that.
But we're still going to have the same music that we love from Jesus Christ Superstar, right?
Yeah, of course. The same music, just different setting on stage.
The roles of Judas and Jesus in this specific play are so iconic and so well known. What have you as an actor done to sort of, how do you give your own spin to that? How do you not look at somebody else's performance and say and avoid doing something that's been done before?
Well, for me, I think it's kind of every good artist copies a little bit. You look at all the different people that have played these roles. You listen to what they've done, and you say, okay, what bits and pieces of this do I like that I can use from what they do, and what bits and pieces don't I like, and that I can create for myself. So you kind of get to make that puzzle for yourself.
Jesus in your eye, Jesus the victim, Jesus the revolutionary, Jesus the fill in the blank. What's your take on the character?
Jesus the high note screamer. In this case, honestly, the character development, I mean, it's been interesting because to be in the South where a lot of people have a very fixed idea of who Jesus is, for them personally to try to create that.
Great angle on that, especially in the South, in the Bible Belt, where it's a much more
and
do you want to say fundamentalist or conservative view of that character?
Absolutely. And then with a show that for some is a bit controversial,
even though it's 50 years old.
It's from Judas's perspective, so it's a bit more negative in spirit. And then it does take a couple of liberties from what some would interpret from the Bible. I mean, it's a musical based on the story, the latter days of Jesus's life, and so it does take a couple of liberties, but it's art, and that's allowed. Mm-hmm. And really kind of dealing with like, what are people going to be expecting to see on Jesus's face the entire time? Sure. And there's a ton of time where Jesus is on stage and not saying a word, just reacting to the things around him, and that can be a bit difficult sometimes.
When I leave the theater, am I going to feel uplifted? Is it going to be one of those where I walk out and go, wow?
I think absolutely.
Okay.
The lighting and the atmosphere of this type show is not something that happens here regularly. It's not even something that we've ever done with our company before. We are really trying to stay true to Lloyd Webber's original intention for the musical, which was not actually to be a musical. It was to be a rock album based on a story. And so the latest arena tour that they taped over in London and was supposed to tour but got canceled for some reason. It was supposed to make an American tour. Was what he said is closer to his original intention, a rock concert based on a story.
Okay, sort of behind the scenes here, let's talk about the guy who's playing Pontius Pilate.
Yeah, how's our guy do as PP?
Other than being a hard to deal with, sort of a little bitchy
Prima donna,
how is he coming along in let's put it this way, one of the starring roles?
Yeah.
Well, Pilate is one of my absolute favorite roles, and I think Gary's doing a terrific job. There's he's not on stage too much of the time, but one of my favorite parts of the show is the end at the trial when he just starts screaming at Jesus right before we get into Superstar, and it's just nailed perfectly every time. I
taught him how to scream. By the way. Yeah.
Good, you did a great job. Every time he gets at it, I get
he
this.
Said he
face
channeled
on.
his inner estrogen. As a matter of fact, it was astonishing.
Opening night is Thursday, right?
Thursday night. That's right.
Let's see if I got it right. Opening night is Thursday, then Friday, Saturday. Is there a matinee this Sunday?
Yep.
Okay, and then next week, Gary, fill us in. It's
A Thursday, Friday, and a matinee Saturday, and an evening show Saturday. So we have 2 shows
tickets
on the 8th.
on sale online at StageCenterLA.com. That's StageCenterLA.com. Isaac Haas, who's playing Judas, and Seth Taylor as Jesus. And, of course, Gary Watson.
That's me.
Ta freaking da.
Yeah.
As Pontius Pilate. It's Jesus Christ Superstar opening Thursday night at the Emmett Hook Theater at First United Methodist. StageCenterLA.com. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Congratulations. And thank you for making, and I'm not joking at all, Shreveport, Bossier, and Northwest Louisiana a hub for the arts. And we prove that every week.
Thank you for having me.
A pleasure, guys.